Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, and they call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're waiting for the store to open up one more register, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Why do you have 40 lanes if you're only going to open 8 anyway? I mean, what's the deal? Tonight, we're talking about GeoWoodstock XX.
Ooh.
That's the double X, Roman numeral 20, female sex, you name it, whatever you want to call double X. That's what we're talking about tonight. We're excited to be able to talk directly with the event planners and hosts. It's going to be a great show. As always, live audience, share your thoughts with us. We want to hear from you. I see the chat flying by already. But first, it's time to bring in our mega marmoset. Some say his yo-yo never comes back. And others say his doctor told him to run 5 miles a day for 2 weeks. Tonight, he's 70 miles from his house. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Run, Forrest, run.
That's right.
All right. Good to be back here. Good to be back with my two co-host buddies. And wow, we got a full house tonight.
Indeed.
This is pretty exciting. We're gonna get around and introduce everybody and welcome everybody into the show. But before we do any of that, we got a little business to take care of. That's right, a little podcast business, folks. We appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a special thanks to our corporate Denali level sponsors. First of all, well, that would be Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca. They are having their second annual inventory reduction sale starting today. 20% off many items, and there's a free trackable gift tag with every $25 spent online or in store. Check it all out at LANDSHARKZ.ca. That's Landsharks with the Z.ca. And our other corporate Denali level sponsor, well, that is our good friends way up at Gold Country Geotourism. Visit exploregoldcountry.com. Learn about the geotours. Learn about the region. Don't forget to download the app. And find them on Facebook at Explore Gold Country. And folks, hey, if you want to know more about supporting this here podcast, well, we will encourage you to click on the Patreon link right over there on the cachingandw.com website.
Thank you so very much.
You're so very welcome.
Well, folks, you probably noticed if you're watching live, we've got more guests than we normally have because this thing is so big, we need to bring in a lot of people. So we're talking about GeoWoodstock 20. If you want to get into the chat, and we know you do, use the hashtag GWXX. You know, anytime. Just pop it in there and throw in a comment. And if it's appropriate, we'll bring it up. If it's not, you'll never even know we saw it.
All the cool kids are doing it, Chris.
That's right. That's right. Of course, you can always use the hashtag FITAS if you want to bring up something in the after show. And it's time to jump into news. We're going to jump right into something from the Geocaching HQ blog. This year's CITO dates are out. So CITO 2024 season 1. Yes, multiple seasons of CITO once again. Season 1 is Friday, March 1st through Friday, May 31st, of course, 2024. And season 2, take a little break. We come back Sunday, September 1st through Saturday, November 30th, 2024. If you want to get those CITO souvenirs, those are the dates you need to go get a CITO. Now, you can earn those by hosting an event or attending an event. Now, remember, you can host an event anytime. It doesn't have to be between those particular dates. And we suggest you host as many as you possibly can.
There you go. Hey, I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one in Arizona during CETO season 1, but we'll find out more about
Oh, show.
that. Awesome. Hey,
Don't
yeah,
spoil anything.
it's spring cleaning and fall cleaning, right?
That's
Spring
right.
cleaning and fall season. I like that. You know what else it is? It's contest time. Hey, we've been telling you, listeners and viewers, if you want a chance to win great prizes just by helping us out, well, here's how you can do it. Positive reviews on podcast hosting platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Well, wherever you download the Caching in the Northwest podcast, that helps us enormously. It helps Chris particularly, but it helps everybody. And yeah, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you time, and it's going to cost you creativity. But it's not going to cost you anything else. So let us reward you for your support. Leave a helpful review on the service where you download the CNW podcast, then share a screenshot or a link to that review on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, that some people are calling X because 3 people call it that and everybody else still calls it Twitter. Use the contest hashtag I love CNW, and hey, maybe a little bit of why you love CNW, and you are automatically entered. Prizes? Abso-freaking-lutely. You could win a gift from Land Sharks or a gift from Tony's Coffee. So check into the show each week for more information and maybe even some highlighted reviews like this one from MNerve, who did exactly what we asked him to do. So thank you, MNerve. And you are entered into the contest. And his review reads, great show about my hobby. Hosts and listeners have become great friends. Wow. I assume he means friends with him and not friends with each other.
Well, who knows? UDAC says, did he say automagically?
Maybe.
Yes, automagically.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
It would be amazeballs if I did. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
So-
it doesn't have to be.
Oh, I think it does now. All right, yo. So get over there,
Sure,
post those
business.
reviews. Thank you so much for doing that. And we can't wait to see who wins that contest. Tonight, though, we're moving on to our topic at hand with our 3 guests so patiently waiting. We're talking about GeoWoodstock 20, as you have already heard. GWXX for the short hashtag code. We've got all kind of great questions. Our live listeners have questions. They're coming in the chat. We've got some questions. So much to talk about with GeoWoodstock 20. But first, let's take a moment and get to know our guests and hosts of the event. I will let you guys decide who gets to go first. Maybe you could share a little bit about yourself, your caching name, where you hail from, and what's your favorite geocache type?
Josh, you go first.
Oh, well, thanks.
Our fearless leader.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Josh. I'm Fu Manchu. I live in Los Angeles. I've been caching since 2006. I'm fairly equal opportunity when it comes to cache types. I pretty much like everything, but I guess I'm partial to letterboxes and unknowns and webcams. And who doesn't like an ape cache? So yeah, I guess I pretty much everything. But yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. I'm ShareBear64, Sharon. And what was our breakdown? We were supposed to say...
Where are you from and your favorite?
Oh, where am I from? I'm from Ventura County, Simi Valley, California. And my favorite caching type is hands down mysteries. And I haven't done as many as I usually do just because I've been so busy with other stuff, but I still love them. And I did what would you call it? I filled my mystery daily calendar a couple of years ago, and that was really fun. And I still have probably another 80 solved mysteries that I'm yet to go out and actually get that I stockpiled for that daily challenge. And so I've got that to look forward to after probably somewhere around May 26th, I'll free up and be able to do stuff like that.
Just throwing a date out there, right?
If you were to pick a date.
Yeah.
If I were to pick a date where I might magically have some free time.
I might suggest it maybe a few days after May 26th.
That's true. That's true.
Personal experience, but
That's true too.
you're pretty close.
Auto magically.
All right, Jim, you're up.
Okay, my name is Jim, also known as Photomom. I've been caching since 2003. I enjoy pretty much all kinds of caches, but I guess maybe at this point, challenge caches and gadget caches are the ones I like going and doing the most. I've cached. My biggest accomplishment in caching, well, there's two of them. It took me 7 years to do 100 caches in each of the 50 states. And then last year at Spring Fling, I hit 100,000 caches.
Wow. That is quite impressive.
Thank you.
Very much.
All right. Okay, Sharon.
Oh my gosh, I had this drink in case I got parched, and then I swallowed it right into my lung.
As one does. Yeah.
As one does.
Because you're on air on a podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay. Nobody noticed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Hey, now we all know, well, many of us know, hopefully we all know, GeoWoodstock is a little different than your ordinary geocaching event, and a little different than your run-of-the-mill mega. Is there a run-of-the-mill mega? I don't know. But it's a pretty special kind of event. Would the hosts, this year's hosts, kindly give us a little bit of insight into the history of the GeoWoodstock events and what makes them unique and special?
Well, Woodstock was founded in 2003 by Joe GPS, a geocacher from Tennessee, when he invited the top cachers of the time to meet in a park in Kentucky. The event grew each year, gaining national and then international attention, growing into the first ever mega event. I believe it was Woodstock 4 in Dallas. And so it is truly the mother of all megas, because mega events did not exist prior to GeoWoodstock. The icon was created for the event, and GeoWoodstock 16 was actually the first ever giga outside of Europe. And this year, the 20th anniversary, is on pace to be, I believe, the largest geocaching event of 2024 worldwide. We're approaching, and we have about 1,800 will attends, so we're approaching 2,000. I do believe there are a couple in Germany that are just over 1,000, but Woodstock is fast approaching 2,000, and probably be the largest one in 2024.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
That
Now-
is daunting.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Believe me, when I was doing the homework on that tonight, I was just
Yeah.
like,
What?
So, as noted earlier, this is the 20th GeoWoodstock. And, that's really a pretty special anniversary. What were your thoughts when you were selected as the hosts for this historic 20th anniversary event?
I would love to hear Jim and Sharon's thoughts on when they were selected, because
Right.
the situation
right.
was kind of a voluntold situation. But,
Exactly. We heard about it after Josh had applied for and been awarded. And that's when we heard that it wasn't going to be in our backyard, but I don't know, 400 miles away from us. So that, that's always no problem at all.
Right.
No, but we thought it was a very, very incredible opportunity to not only have GeoWoodstock. How often has it been this far west, Josh? Not very often. Obviously.
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe.
So, Bakersfield and Seattle.
Yeah.
There was Seattle. Let's see. The
Sacramento.
earliest one was Sacramento.
Sacramento,
And
that
then
was
there
it.
was Seattle, and then Denver, kind of west.
Kind of west. And then
wrong
the
side of the Rockies, but
One in Victoria.
and then
yeah,
there
the
was
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so-
that one.
Right. So that was pretty special to get number 20.
Yeah.
And the one thing I always like to tell people, especially non-geocachers. So maybe most of our audience knows this, but what's so special about GeoWoodstock is that, yes, it's the 20th and it's a tradition, but it's our first time hosting it. They are kind of like the Olympics, where the committee of past hosts choose the venue or the host city, the hosts, based on an application. So it's pretty amazing, and we're given support, but we're given very much free reign for this to be our event. And the three of us, this will be when the time comes, it will be our fourth mega event that we have hosted together, because we have been doing our local spring fling, and this coming up May the 4th. Yes, May the 4th, 3 weeks before GeoWoodstock, we'll be hosting our third mega spring fling. So pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And just absolutely blown away to be involved with GeoWoodstock in general.
Totally.
And specifically, it's an honor to be entrusted. I mean, oh my gosh, seriously, to be given such an epic milestone event
For sure.
for geocaching history. So
Josh had mentioned Cincinnati, the first Giga in North America. And that's the year I started geocaching, 2016. So I actually attended that. And it was like trial by fire. I was a brand new geocacher and I went to that. And so, yeah, to now, 7 years later, be hosting our own is unreal. It's unreal to me.
Never crossed my mind. Never expected it. Never. Yeah.
I wasn't totally surprised when I was voluntold about it. Basically, I had been with Josh at the 20-year event up in Seattle after GeoWoodstock up there in British Columbia, and I knew that some people had approached him about possibly having this in Southern California area. And we had talked a little bit about various locations in Southern California, but we really couldn't come up with anything that in the middle of the summer wouldn't be oppressively hot or very.
So we picked Arizona.
Sure.
Or very cost prohibitive, because Southern California tends to be extremely expensive for venues. So I knew he was thinking about doing an application for it. So I wasn't completely caught by surprise, but it was definitely a surprise.
Uh-huh.
So Jim, you knew you were going to be drawn into this, as soon as it happened?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey, I have to comment, first of all, this, a few things that are fairly universal among people, one of which is most people I know, including myself, really don't like the sound of their own voice. You ever hear a recording of yourself and you go, oh, yeah, I sound like that? That's terrible.
All the time.
I used to be jealous of Land Monkey's dulcet tones every week on the podcast, and it's good. But I got to say, Fu Manchu, you take the cake tonight. I don't know. Yeah.
100%.
Man, I can't wait till I grow up and have a voice like that. But anyway.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
but when I met Josh, it was on a night hike. And Jim and I just showed up. It was Mulholland Highway, I think. And after we walked and talked the whole time, I turned and I said to him, "You have the most amazing voice." And turns out Josh does voiceover work. So,
hey, what a surprise.
What a surprise. Yeah.
It's a wonderful gift.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. To the topic at hand, as you mentioned, GeoWoodstock moves to different cities every year. Kind of like the Olympics, except you don't have 4 years to plan and a slightly smaller budget.
Well, some people had 4 years to plan.
Well,
but
some people did have
true.
multiple years to plan. I don't
Thanks,
know.
COVID.
Those Canadians, I don't know.
All right.
For Canadian years, they're metric years.
That's what it is.
They're not
Yeah.
the same.
COVID years. Yeah.
So this year, as you mentioned, Arizona. Can you tell us a little bit about the host city, maybe the region there that's hosting GeoWoodstock 20 this year?
Well, I love Flagstaff. It was one of the first places that popped into my mind when the idea of writing a proposal came up. I probably one of my favorite cities on the planet. It is a scenic mountain town with a youthful, outdoorsy vibe, picturesque downtown, and ideal weather in late May.
I joked about Arizona being so hot, but Flagstaff is amazing.
I did
Flagstaff
see
is much different than the typical Arizona climate people think of.
Once it was announced, I saw on various social media channels people complaining like, Arizona, like, what the heck are they thinking? We're all going to burn to death. And yes, most of the state will be in triple digits, well into the triple digits by late May. Flagstaff will be, the average temperature over the last decade on May 25th is 68 degrees. So it should be, it's at 7,000 feet of elevation. So what was that, like 20 to 2,300 for our metric friends? So I mean, it's going to be blue skies. It's rained exactly once. I went through the almanacs. It's rained once in the last 50 years on May 25th. And that was an accumulation of 0.03 inches, which is just enough to like dirty up the dust on your windshield, right?
Yeah.
So it should be ideal weather. It's a beautiful town. It's a tiny place. It's like 75,000 people. So that's like a Scranton, Pennsylvania, or an Evanston, Indiana, or Illinois. I don't even know where that is. So it's a it's a small town, cute downtown, and I see that good researching there. Except I used to live there, so this is what I claim to be my hometown. So I know a little bit about it. So.
Yeah, Treeham says Flagstaff is at an elevation higher than all the local ski hills in the Vancouver, BC area. So it is up there a ways. And I once spent quality time on the shoulder of Interstate 40 with a tire blowout near Flagstaff.
You're the guy that backed up all the traffic.
No, there was no traffic when I was up there.
Oh, okay. Because it's in Flagstaff, it is so beautiful that not only will all of us geocachers be there on Memorial Weekend, but so will 90% of Arizonians will flee. So,
boy, if you are considering coming, just book a room now, because the city sells out. It has 5,300 hotel rooms, which is a lot for a city of its size, but it is the gateway to the Grand Canyon, and Sedona is just down the road. Lake Powell to the north. There are like 8 national parks and monuments, within a couple hours of the city. So, it's a very popular place, and people down in the Valley of the Sun, they drive up every weekend from Phoenix to get out of those triple digits and enjoy some nice cool weather. So the town does sell out on a regular weekend. And this is a holiday weekend, and it's a Woodstock anniversary weekend. So book early.
And I saw on the chat, Cliff said, if I was to take 1 week off of work for the event, should I take it before or after the weekend? And I would hands down say before. Yeah. We've got tons of events. GeoWoodstock is the 9th or 10th event that week of ours?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. A couple. There's events starting the prior Saturday, and then there's like 2 a day up until GeoWoodstock.
Wow.
So not only would you want to get there early to beat the rush and the traffic from just the locals going to Flagstaff for the weekend, but to participate, there's going to just be so many GeoWoodstock activities that entire week. So
it seems to me, we've been doing a little bit of planning, and it seems to me that it's, especially if you've never been to the area before, it's tough, because there are going to be a lot of events, but there's also, as Josh was saying, so many amazing things to see in the area. It's like you kind of want to take 2 weeks, but not everybody can have 2 weeks to try and get the events and everything else around. So yeah, it's gonna be tough to try and figure out the balance of what you want to do. So I guess plan early, which is, I guess, Josh's
the scale of northern Arizona is quite vast. So I've had people come to me. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to stop by the Four Corners." It's like, those are like 8 hours apart, So it's like, as long as you are not sleeping, at all the entire time, you're just driving from sunset to sunrise. Yeah, you can do a lot, but it's a rather, the scale is much larger than being on the East Coast or elsewhere. So
yeah,
good point. Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about all the different things to do, not everybody is geocaching couples, and often folks have their, as they're called, snuggle muggle or non-geocaching partner who might be coming with them because, as Josh said, it's a beautiful place to go and visit. Are there going to be activities in the area for keeping non-geocacher adults or kids entertained?
Well, another Flagstaff question, so I guess that's me.
I do.
Yeah, well, in addition, hopefully they're outdoorsy, even if they are not a geocacher, because as I was saying, there are like 8 national parks, 7 state parks, all within a couple hours of Flagstaff. Sedona is literally just down the road. It is very close, although it's a very slow-going highway, and you can get your chakras aligned there, and it's a nice place. And there are various eateries, the cute downtown, tons of museums. There's the Museum of Northern Arizona, Lowell Observatory, where they discovered Pluto in 1930. Never forget, R.I.P. Pluto, our former 9th planet. But
Hashtag RIP Pluto in the chat.
absolutely, sad face. There's you'll be busy. There's a lot to do. So
Fantastic. Now, Sharebear, you mentioned a few events.
Yes.
Do you want to go into a little detail about what's happening before and what's happening after GeoWoodstock? In fact, GSM times 2 put out an entire list, or posted the link to the list.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think Josh made that announcement yesterday, right, Josh?
yeah, all but one of the side events, the official side events, have published. Yesterday was our little Valentine's gift to everyone, which was also Arizona's birthday itself.
Oh, nice.
And
Valentine's Day was?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it? Maybe it's February 12th. It's either February 12th or 14th.
Okay.
I'm sure UDAC is Googling this right now too.
Fact check us. Fact check us.
I want to say February 14th, 1912, but I'm not 100% sure. Although I see another Arizona in the chat right now, just finding our way. John will probably be able to answer this for us. But yeah, there's.
So our kickoff event is early bird gets the axe.
Yeah,
Right,
the 1 week before, we're welcoming you to Northern Arizona lumberjack style. Flagstaff is a lumber town originally.
So that's not an employment euphemism. It's actually
right.
It's truly, and
You're literally going to.
And I went to Northern Arizona University. The mascot is a lumberjack, so the Louis the lumberjack. So as a former lumberjack, I've never thrown an axe. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit, but our first one is a welcoming you to Northern Arizona lumberjack style. So pizza, beer, and axe throwing.
Oh,
So
nice.
Early bird gets the axe.
Yeah, nothing like beer and pizza grease when you're expecting to throw an axe.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
what could go wrong? It's going to be fantastic. So,
Josh, did you see Scott confirmed your February 14th, 1912? Very nice.
See, bang, nice.
Dang.
Former Arizonan. So
You're right. Then go forward to Wednesday, and then we have our Welcome to Flagstaff event.
Yes, our WTF event. Welcome to Flagstaff.
WTF.
nice.
So
Is that what that means?
that's exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. You've been
Yes.
using it wrong all this time.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
So yeah, just a very casual event, really kind of like a package pickup in the center of town at Heritage Square. We'll be out there for a few hours, welcoming whoever came early and handing off your cool swag bags, of which I highly recommend, if you do purchase one, to pick them up as early as you can, because your badge, we've been working with the city of Flagstaff, and we have a badge program that gets you discounts at hotels, museums, restaurants, shops. All you have to do is gets you a buck off of beers at a specific brewery. All you have to do is show the badge and, tell them you're from GeoWoodstock and save 15% on your dinner. So
Wow.
I highly recommend getting your badges as early as possible to take advantage of that during the week. City of Flagstaff has been really awesome with
Great tip.
Woodstock team, I've got to commend you guys. Like when I read about the badge and all the perks that are available for folks who have their GeoWoodstock badge. I was super impressed. You guys
Right on.
really worked with the community to get all of that for the geocaching visitors. That's fantastic. So thank you for all the effort in doing that.
Yeah, and those are just the early adopters. So hopefully that list will grow the closer we get to May 25th.
Now you've got some peer pressure to put on the other vendors, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Then Thursday is a really exciting day. And I made the mistake of telling Josh and Jim, I am totally going to GeoWoodstock Express. It's our event at the train station, then followed by a non-geocaching option to get on that train and take it to the Grand Canyon. And I thought, oh man, that sounded so fun. And they both looked at me like, you're not going on that train. Are you absolutely nuts? So alas, okay, I get it. I won't be going on that train. Maybe a different day I can go on that train, or a different week. But that to me was a super exciting event. So just a little breakfast get together, and then off you go to the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Yeah.
The round trip train ride on the Grand Canyon Railway after the event, because the event conveniently ends as the train departs. So we'll all go outside from the Fred Harvey house and wave goodbye to our,
wave goodbye to those
trains,
who get to participate.
And we can run down the platform and everything. So.
Now those people will get back a little bit late for the next exciting event, which is the Get Your Kicks event on Thursday evening.
Yeah, get your kicks. We've rented out a 1960s directly on Route 66 bowling alley. We've rented the place out for 4 hours, and we're paying for unlimited bowling and shoes for everyone. Your own food and drink are on your own, but we'll have packet pickup there as well. And the event runs long enough that even if you do go to the canyon, and you'll still make it back to Flag for at least half of it. So it's I believe a 4-hour event at the bowling alley.
Yeah. And, you'll definitely get Smiley. You'll just be a little late.
Well, I called this place and just cold called them, and it's just like, hey, I'd like to rent out the whole house. Like, what's it for? And I was like, well, it's kind of a long story. It's kind of crazy, but there's this thing called geocaching. He's like, oh, what? I'm a geocacher. So that was easy.
Perfect.
So I explained what it was, and he's like, yeah, I'm all in. Whatever you want, let's do this.
Nice.
That's pretty excited to have
fantastic.
it. Yeah, Starlight Lanes. It's the outside is still, looks like it did in 1966.
Right.
It's a great place. About the train ride. Sorry to jump back for a quick second. Just thought of this as Scott was posting links on the website. There on the geowoodstock.com website, there is a link and information to save 20% on that train ride. So if you call in,
wonderful.
You have to call in. It's not a web. It's not. You can't use it online. But if you call in and use the code, you'll get 20% off that ticket. And as a previous rider of that train, in my experience, pay for the super expensive, the super fancy, the high class dome seat on the way there. Incredible views and from the domes, and get the cheap seats on the way home because you're going to be sleeping the whole time. So it's like, don't waste the money on the dome on the way back. Just get the good seats on the way there and the cheap seats on the way home.
Skyhawker says he's done the train 3 times. Great train.
Nice, very nice.
Don't take my word for it.
There you go. He says the dome seat is the only way to go.
There you go. Well, those dome seats are going to sell out fast now.
Exactly. Tomorrow.
I know, right?
And I have to throw in that Seabeck Tribe says that was an awesome cold call.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always a little awkward trying to explain geocaching and have them not think you're insane. And it's like, this has got to be a crank call, right? So it's like, but I got like 3 words into it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a geocacher." He's like, well, "What do you want to do? When do you want to do this?" Like, okay. So
that is so awesome. Yeah. Fantastic.
I mean, and the fact that you're buying, or the rounds of bowling is not the right term, but you're getting the shoe rental and opening the lanes for everyone. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was, we discussed, getting half the place or whatever, but we decided not to mix with the general public, and
that's a good idea. Have you met some of these geocachers?
Yeah, seriously, myself, and so
and me. I don't mix well with the public.
So we decided to go whole hog and should be fun.
Chris, do we want to grab any of the questions from the chat before we keep going?
We have so many good ones.
Yeah.
Scott, I take your challenge for a low score bowling contest, but my family has done this before and it's hilarious. It took us 2.5 hours to bowl one game.
They have bumpers, so
we required the bumpers to be up because otherwise you're just gutter. But several of us were still able to get 2 gutter balls even with the bumpers up. So a 0 frame even with the gutters up. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Jeannie says, I get to do 2 weeks, the advantage of being retired. My spouse is going to go to her first GeoWoodstock because she wanted to go to the Grand Canyon.
Nice.
That's
Beautiful.
awesome. I'm super excited about this coming to the American Southwest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been down here. It's tends to circulate in specific areas back east, and it's always a long haul for us. I've seen people complaining online that all the way in Arizona. It's like, that's what we do every year, is all the way back east. So
every year, right.
Exactly.
Welcome to Arizona. Come and enjoy.
Cincinnati's no easy trip from here, let me tell you. CRS 98 says, I'm hoping to attend. This would be his 4th GeoWoodstock if he can make it.
Right on. We hope you can make it as well.
Yeah.
We do.
Let's see. There we go. Wits End, you want to read that one?
GSM times 2 says GeoWoodstock has a lot more people than any other event in the United States. That's back when we were talking about megas and gigas and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and I think that has a lot to say about the organization and just the way it's promoted and organized, right? Like what you're putting forward. So what people are, because I mean, there's one thing to say, hey, come to a GeoWoodstock. Okay, there's going to be a certain amount of people who are just like, it's a GeoWoodstock, so I'm just going. But then it's a GeoWoodstock and it's in this unique location, so kudos. But then on top of that, you've been adding in all these really interesting things, right? That we've been talking about through the show. So I think that really, it's a little bit of a sort of a perfect storm situation.
I mean, this whole thing is my love letter to Northern Arizona. I mean, I just,
And
trying to
the
do
event,
things that I want to do. And if you guys come, that's cool. But,
there you go.
I just want to do. So,
Oh, so it's all about you. And you're just inviting a few of your friends.
You're welcome to come along. 3,000 of you.
Scott also said the event has 1,749 will attends as of today.
Awesome.
And Skyhawker just can't say enough about this train trip. This is the train trip will give you about 3 hours to do the rim tour by the ho-ho bus. Hop on, hop off. That's it. I was thinking Santa Claus was involved.
Right.
I was thinking a delicious chocolate delicacy.
And to get a bunch of Earth caches and virtuals.
Yeah, if you haven't been before, absolutely.
Yeah, you could have some fun too.
Keep going.
I was going to say Seabeck Tribe hosted a bowling event for her 50th event, and thanks to her granddaughter, and had bumpers that didn't go all the way down, which saved several of us.
They didn't go all the way down the lane.
Or I don't know. I mean, can't you turn them on and off for individual players?
You definitely can, right?
Yeah. There was a question earlier from Three Hams I'd like to ask the hosts. He said the 2 miles high side event is at 9,500 feet. But he's wondering if a virtual cache might happen to get published at the top of the gondola so folks can get their badge gen for 11,500 feet or 3,500 meters.
Wow. Well, spoiler alert. I was awarded a virtual, and that is actually where I'm looking to put it. And this very recently at the Yuma Mega number 20, ran into one of the Arizona reviewers who happens to be in the chat. So maybe he can comment. I pitched him the idea, and he was pondering it, and I honestly don't recall where we left it, but it's possible. It is possible.
Josh, you have made a whole bunch of people really happy just now.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get on the guy in the chat. There's someone here that has complete control of that and has nothing to do with me. So I have an idea. I think it's hilarious. and it is at 11,500 feet, almost on the dot. So it is. We'll see. We'll see if it gets approved.
That'd be great. And that is the next event as we are going through our
Actually,
lineup as events.
very good
So
job, there, guys.
that was
Leading like
perfect. That
Dang,
was perfect.
dang, I'm impressed.
Nice segue.
So yeah, so there's an event sitting on a deck up at Agassiz Lodge, beneath Agassiz Peak and Humphreys Peak.
Apparently, it has to be submitted.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I'm getting a vibe.
Fair enough. That may or may not be a local reviewer. No, so, I don't know if it's public. So, well, I will get to that. Let me. I'll start just typing that up right now.
Next
But,
I'm gonna be busy for the next few moments. So
yeah, sorry about my distraction.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's an event at Agassiz Lodge, which is at 9,500 feet of elevation, and there's an option, non-geocaching trip sort of thing afterwards, to ride a gondola, as long as it's operating. It's very wet. Everything is weather dependent on the mountain. Can't guarantee it, but you can ride the gondola up to 11,500 feet. So
Wow.
You'll be able to, if it is a clear day, you can see the north rim of the Grand Canyon from there.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's pretty spectacular.
That's worth it. Yeah, just for that view. No
Yeah.
kidding.
And Josh, once again, how many times has it rained in the last 50 years?
Right.
Precisely once.
Almost
However,
here.
that means
Almost
we're going to
here.
get about 4 feet of snow. So every time I mention
The
it,
more
it's an
you
additional
jinx
6 inches.
us. Exactly. Oh dear. Then the next event, we don't have published yet, the Friday night. So we will skip over that one.
Well, it's a Pints in the Pines.
Okay.
It'll be. We lost a venue, and we're in talks with another venue.
I think the world lost the venue.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't
So-
that they turned us down. They like literally went out of business.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and yeah, one went out of business. One, I gave them the update of how many people I thought would be in attendance, and they literally hung up. And so yeah, so
Apparently,
I
you
guess that's a
need to
small
call back
town.
when a geocacher's working
Yeah.
there.
I got to turn on the correct voice. I got to get the right person on the other end of the line. Yeah, so we're in talks with another venue right now, which actually would be a fantastic place.
Either that, or there's going to be a keg on our driveway, and
That literally, yeah, we have an Airbnb, so come on over.
man.
Big backyard.
One way or the other, we will have pints, and there will be
pine trees and there will be pints. They may be individual wherever you are, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So.
Awesome. My goodness, what a variety of side events and things to do. That's really
Kudos
well
to
done.
Josh. He's done an amazing job for sure.
It really does sound amazing. So many events leading up to the main event.
Which
Yeah.
is
Weekend.
next.
Next event is the main event.
Another great segue. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Next morning is GeoWoodstock. 20th anniversary, just a little event you may have heard of. And yeah, we're very excited. Fantastic venue, beautiful
The venue's
place.
amazing.
And I think it's going to be a really nice experience, the sort of thing that you may want to stay a little longer than just, stopping through on your caching day.
Yeah, which not facetiously is what a lot of people do, especially at events so large, right? What do you do at events this big?
Well, you sit in the booth and answer questions.
Right. you check in. Maybe there's some vendors, and then you go off caching, right? So I think when Josh first talked to me, and I don't know when he talked to Jim about doing the spring fling. What his vision was and what we wanted was a more intimate event, something that people stayed at. So a very social event. And we have been successful in doing that. When people have come to our spring fling, they stay it starts at 10 a.m. So which means they stay from 9 a.m. through closing at 4 o'clock. And because there's so many activities. And in fact, one of our biggest complaints, and truly a complaint, not joking around, is that there's too much to do and they couldn't get it all done. So we wanted to bring that to Flagstaff and to GeoWoodstock XX, because that's what we love to do and what we're used to doing and what we know how to do. And so We're going to do our very, very best to scale that up to however many people are going to be there. Because the amphitheater it's not in the middle of town. It's a separate place that you are at. And if you want to go cache, there's certainly absolutely caches in the area, in the park that it's in. But you would have to actually leave if you wanted to then go off caching. And we have the feeling most people won't leave. There will be a lot to do that day.
Nice. Now, Princess Trouble, who you may have heard of, is one of the, she's obviously in trouble quite often, but she's also hosted one of the GeoWoodstock. She wants to know, how can someone volunteer to help out?
Easy enough. Coming up in actually just a couple of weeks now, we will be publishing a sign-up list for volunteers, and we will be promoting that, letting everyone know that that's out there. We actually gathered a list of, we had a pre-registration last year where people could comment whether they were interested in volunteering. So we were able to build a nice mailing list out of that of volunteers, and we do have a list coming out very soon, just a couple of weeks, with time slots and jobs and positions, and you're always welcome to email us with, if you have a specific talent or tools or anything that you would like to volunteer. We would love that assistance, because we're gonna have a ton of people. We have a ton of events. We have a dozen events overall, and we're looking at what does Scott say, 1749. So in HQ math, that's 2,900 people. So
yeah.
So it's going to take a village to host the party.
It will. And the day of, we have games and activities going on that need lots and lots of help, because we would like to really, the more help we have, the better, because we don't want long lines. We don't want lines. There's going to be lines. I mean, there's going to be 2,100 people there or more. And, but we're going to do our best. So yes, there's going to be lots and lots and lots to help out with before the event, getting the packages together, passing out the packages, and then working the event itself, setting it up, taking it down. Just lots and lots to do. So stay tuned for that, please.
Nice.
All right. Well, we've covered so much. Events leading up, stuff to do with the event, day of, all these things. Book your hotel room early, we understand, because that's limited. There's so many great things to see in addition to geocaching specific events. You hinted at how far apart things are, and travel is always something. And, people coming from the East Coast that have never been to Arizona, shame on them. What is the best way to get to GeoWoodstock? Do we just jump on a bicycle and ride there? I don't know.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Flagstaff does have an airport.
Okay.
It connects to 2 cities in the United States. It connects to Phoenix, and it connects to Dallas. You can fly into Phoenix itself and drive up. You can fly into Las Vegas and drive over.
How far would it be from Vegas, Josh?
Never actually made. Well, not since college.
Well,
I made that drive, and that was in the middle of the night at top. Yeah. So let's not go there. So anyway,
legally.
So I honestly don't have that answer offhand.
I want to say Las Vegas is
3-4 hours.
4 hours.
Okay.
You have to go around the canyon, so it's not a straight line. There's a big hole in the road in the way. So yeah, the Grand Canyon's in the way. So
but once you are in the area,
Grand Canyon.
oh, there you go, 4.5 hours.
4.5 there. But of course, with geocaches, then it's two-week trip.
That's right.
But so you can fly in. You can take the train in. I think it's called the Southwest Chief. Makes the Route 66 run basically from Chicago to LA. So you connect to that train or jump on that train wherever, and come into town, and Route 66. Route 66 runs right through the middle of the city. So Interstate 40 does as well. So you can planes, trains, and automobiles. We'll get there.
Nice.
Sounds great.
And which is another reason we encourage early arrival, because apparently there is really only one main, is it 40 from?
Well, Interstate 40 runs east-west, so that'll
Okay.
that'll go to go to New Mexico, goes to Albuquerque. The other direction comes into Barstow, connects with Interstate 15 here in California. But from Phoenix, it's Interstate 17,
Oh,
and that road will change elevation 6,000 feet over 120 miles.
Wow.
So there's you get a lot of slow traffic and accidents, and there's not a lot along the road. So rescue vehicles come from have to come from much further away. So back in college, we used to carry a frisbee or a football and some various beverages in our car. And so whenever there was an accident, we would just get out on the highway and play football on the island with people from other cars for the 2 or 3 hours until the rescue vehicles could clear the road.
Bring your football.
So if you are coming in on Friday night, you're going to have traffic. If you're trying to drive up Saturday morning before the event, we may see you on Tuesday. So I would strongly recommend against that.
Wow. That's
And
really good to know.
Josh, you mentioned Route 66. There are actually some crazy people we've heard of who are taking, 2 weeks off beforehand and going from Chicago.
Absolutely. There's a cacher from Florida who's driving up getting up to Chicago and then driving the whole length of it. I know Scott here in the chat is doing it in reverse, starting here in Santa Monica and heading east. When we made the announcement in Owensboro, we came off the stage and we were approached by someone from, I believe, Michigan, saying that they were going to rent an RV with their friends and make the whole drive. And then, a half hour later, we ran into them again. They're like, "Someone's got a license to drive a bus. We're renting a bus. We're bringing all our friends." Like, great. So, Route 66, obviously, the Mother Road runs through Flag. It's in the personality of the town. It's a lot of heritage there. So it's a cool experience. And then there's ALs from one end to the other, if that's your thing. And fantastic. That's a bucket list trip for sure.
Wow. It's almost too much for even 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're going to do that too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there 20 years and I haven't done it all.
Jeannie says, are there going to be adventure labs?
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I can say at this time.
There you go. Okay. And Wollaston says, is there going to be an embroidered polo top available in lieu of a t-shirt?
Depends on your donation. Yes.
There you go. Okay. How about that? We're just knocking this out. Okay. Now, hearing all that is available to do, and the road you said, that goes 6,000 feet in elevation in 120 miles. Is there anything visitors should bring with them that they don't normally pack? Is there something that they should have that's unique for Arizona and for Flagstaff based on the climate and the terrain, perhaps?
Well, first off, I would just say to be aware that it is 7,000 feet of elevation. It is a much cooler temperature. It's going to be the average is high 60s during the day, but at night it's freezing. So it gets down to freezing or below freezing, and so you'll need a variety of clothes, because even when it's 68 during the day, it's usually sunny, so it feels really warm and it feels great. But step into the shade, it's cool. But at nighttime, it's
downright cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the elevation is really there's nothing to actually bring, but just take your time. If you're from a coastal state, or you were talking about Ohio earlier, the highest point in Ohio is like 1,300 feet. So this is 6,970 feet, 7,000 feet. So you will have an adjustment, particularly if you come to the 2 miles high event, because if you actually take the gondola at the top, you will be above 2 miles. So
wow,
it's oxygen is thinner. There's less atmospheric pressure, so the molecules are spread out more, and you'll be gasping for air.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Bell on the move says, at least the beer will stay cold.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Very good point, Andrew.
Chill the beer overnight.
So
remember-
go ahead.
I was gonna say we're running out of time, but we want to ask real quick: what are you guys most excited about for this event this year?
What's the last event, Josh?
When's it over? Yeah.
Sunday. They're excited for Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe Sunday afternoon, not Sunday morning.
There are 2 events on that Sunday. There's another one on Monday, and then there's one a whole week later for anyone who got stuck on the mountain. But
Right. And there's a traditional Midnight Madness after GeoWoodstock.
oh yeah, there's still what
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 5 events after the main event. So
That's right.
so yeah.
So I know we're running out of time, but I did want to mention Midnight Madness because I think it's amazing. We have rented out the Orpheum Theater,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be a blast. So
Yeah, it's
a great after party.
There was a movie theater or a theater built there in 1900 that collapsed under a snowstorm, and then they built the Orpheum around 1910 or something like that. So we've rented out the place. You know, there's going to be live music. There's going to be a international premiere of a short film.
Wow.
Geocaching film. There's going to be, if people are interested, we'll have a geocoin poker tournament. There'll be, for Andrew here for Bell on the Move, there will be beer, it's going to be a fun evening from 8 till midnight. Get to have that absolute madness, and then there's the CETO the next morning. We were talking about CETO season 1, so CETO the next morning, and then after that, it's possibly my favorite event.
One of the things that's what I was going to say. That's one of the things I'm most excited about is this Sunday event.
Yeah, standing on the corner. You're probably familiar with the Eagles song if you are alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so 1972, Take It Easy, standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, is not true. I mean, of course, it's a story, it's a song, but a lot of these things are based on personal experience. Jackson Brown used to spend in the 70s, a ton of time in northern Arizona, and he his car broke down at a corner of Route 66 and Schweitzer Canyon Road in Flagstaff, East Flagstaff. And he was sitting there, and a girl in a Toyota pickup truck pulled out a Wiener Schnitzel, saw him, took a double take, and then drove away. So nothing rhymes with Schweitzer Canyon or Wiener Schnitzel or Toyota pickup. And so Jackson Brown tried to write this into something. He just couldn't do it. And so he lived in Santa Monica in a little apartment complex, and his neighbor was this guy, Glenn Fry. And they were sitting around one night, and he shared the lyrics with him, and Glenn Fry wrote one of the most famous songs of the 70s.
Neat. What a great story.
So it took place in Flagstaff, not Winslow, but, can't have everything.
So our event is at that location.
That Wiener Schnitzel still stands as a different restaurant, and Cole called that guy, and he loved the idea. And so we're going to stand on the corner, and the guy's going to hand out hot dogs, and come on by.
Fantastic.
In your Toyota pickup.
Yeah, if you have a Toyota
That's
pickup,
right.
you do the drive-through and reenact 1970 all over.
No flatbed Fords.
No. Artistic license.
Okay, James, you've snuck through this whole thing. What's your favorite thing that's going on at GeoWoodstock this year?
Well, is it okay to announce our thing at this point?
Yeah, we hadn't quite gotten down
Hold
to.
on here. What do we have going on?
Well, we were trying to get through all of our side events to mention one more amazing thing that we have. And go ahead.
So we are bringing the GPS Adventure Maze to Flagstaff.
Hooray!
Yay.
We are in the process of designing, building, and constructing one as we speak.
All new.
And it will be an all new one, and it will be there and available to cachers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
On site where Woodstock is held?
Different location. There is another festival happening that same weekend at Fort Tuthill Park. So actually every event other than Woodstock is not taking place at that venue. So,
Okay.
But Flagstaff's a fairly small town, and all but one of the events are in Flagstaff itself. So,
Well, if the chat is any indication, there's a lot of people excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
We're
exciting.
excited about it as well. We've been talking about doing it since we got the application approved for GeoWoodstock, and it's all
There it
coming
is.
to life.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, it's a lot of work, so I don't envy you the effort.
Yeah.
The
And
rest of it's been easy, so no big deal.
kudos to Jim because he's really spearheading the maze, and it's going to be exciting.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, let me say
Yes.
I didn't know that ahead of time, and I just wanted to make sure you got some airtime there. So I think the timing just worked out right.
1 hour on the dot.
That's fine. I'm known as the quiet one of the
Yeah,
three.
he's,
so,
he's the silent. He's the silent partner
He,
for sure.
he prefers it that way. Josh is the one who actually has all the knowledge. Jim's quiet, and I'm just a big mouth. So that all just works out.
Well, and we appreciate your time spent here. We know you're all working hard. You've got regular jobs. You've got this on top of it, and you're tired. So
Yes.
If I could just say my regular job, I'm a CPA who does taxes. So
oh boy.
yeah. So imagine between now and then
Yep.
everything going on. It's going to be that's why I'm so looking forward to May 26th.
Yeah. Anything past mid-April, you're good.
Exactly.
I just got mine done tonight, so we're good.
Oh, good.
Listeners, thank you so much for sticking with us. We hope you enjoyed
Yes,
this
thank you.
episode of Caching in the Northwest. Now, folks, if people wanted to get a hold of you to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
Well,
Our
yeah,
email is GW. What is it, Josh?
GW20.
20.
Yeah, GW20 at
Right.
GW20 flagstaff at gmail.com. But through Message Center, GeoWoodstock XX is the I believe is the account on geocaching.com. You can find us on Facebook, and I'm sure half of you have my phone number anyway. So
There you go. So there you go. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you need to leave,
Thank you guys.
please feel free to, but you're always welcome to stay for the after show. We're going to jump in and do a little bit of business and then go right into the after show. But thank you so much.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and we're very excited about all of this. But
Right.
first, we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca, the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. They're shipping those online orders daily. And don't forget, the sale is on right now, up to 20% off, and the free trial for every $25 spent. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, do not forget to check out exploregoldcountry.com. We want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. Of course, that's Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, but it's also Groovy Owl, Cool Cow Cachers, and Casually the Geocaching app. Folks, if you want to know more about supporting this here podcast, make sure to click that, the Patreon link over there on the cachingnw.com website.
Like our, I want to say iTunes, Apple Podcast commenter MNerve did.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks to Green Words,
You Talks to Rocks,
GSM ×2.
B Pendragon,
Wet Coaster,
Dora Moore.
Sege Hove,
MC3 Cats,
Peach of Washington.
Pizza,
Yeah.
or Vegas.
Or Vegas or somewhere. Is it-
Yeah. Let's see. Korsgat,
Flagman,
Skyhawker.
Alarobrick,
in the chat, UDAC,
Gas Station Tuna.
Just Carlo,
Kid Vegas 19,
LG 9000.
Wino Seattle,
RE54321,
Camp Clan.
Geocaches,
Unteus,
Genies.
Logwork,
Limax,
Kev MacD.
Team Noltex,
BRS 98,
Mountain Bike.
Nervous Energies,
Geo Navpro,
BC Rockcrawler.
Katie Quest,
Boopadoopadoopadoo, Trexer,
Boomer 365.
Subway Mark,
new to our patron family here, Rob M. Rob M.
Rob 'em. No, that may not be the way we want to say that.
Excellent instruction.
Whidbey Island Gal.
Seabeck Tribe,
J-Car,
Ackerdock.
and just finding our way. Who was in the chat tonight?
That's right. Folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to Caching in the Northwest. We hope, no, I'm not reading this right. Let me start over. Just want
None
to
of us
let
are
you know,
tonight, Chris. It's all good.
live show. You just never know what's going to happen. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website. Now, if you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. It's going to win you some prizes, right? Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. And of course, you can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or meet us at GeoWoodstock any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingandw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jake Kennedy, and Brian Lang. The show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2024 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The after show.
You
I
did.
do it every week, but I'm probably not as good as Josh.
I don't think anybody is.
Mhm.
Not on this. Not on this.
That's
one.
right. Let's see. Oh, we've got so many comments on GeoWoodstock. Let's see. Interesting that bowling was mentioned so early in the show.
He said that way before we talked about the bowling
He did.
event.
He did.
So when was bowling mentioned?
I don't know.
Scott, you'll have to tell us.
Yeah,
I
that was
have no
like
idea.
9:02. It's just a couple minutes into the
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Huh.
I read that and I thought, who said bowling? Was
Well,
it?
we're gonna have to play back and see what's going on.
Oh, just Carlos's budget and work-wise, I'm unsure if I can make it for GeoWoodstock. I'll be listening in the next hour with FOMO.
Aw,
Yes.
All right. Well, hopefully.
Oh, here's a real fatas.
Oh.
IHAM says I'm going to go check out the Oregon Troll this weekend.
Nice.
Now, when I looked at that, I just glanced at it. Of
And
course,
thought
I
it's his
assume
trail. Sure.
it's Oregon Trail. Obviously, he's going to the Oregon
That's what I
Troll.
Indeed. Oregon
We've
Troll.
we've got 6 trolls up here that have been built. They're what, 20 feet high or so?
Out, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real. Out,
I thought you were referring to us, the 6 on
Yeah.
the screen. We got 6 trolls up here. It's like, seriously? Come on.
Wow. Okay.
Rude.
Wow.
Welcome to the podcast.
Wow.
I've been called worse.
3 hams in a rows pointed out that Share Bear's wearing the double backer shirt tonight.
I
It
am.
is true.
Oh, can I show my code for the after show people?
Yeah, if you want to, go
Oh,
for
sure.
it. That's all on you.
Might be a challenge.
I gotta check. Oh, you know what? Now I have to activate it, right?
That would help.
It helps.
One more
You guys
time.
hit? Okay.
9566 XX
Ah,
9566.
there you go.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Now it's clear. Yep.
And for real, I think I have to go activate it. I don't know if I ever have.
This is a live
Look
show.
at
Somebody
I
could
can't
have already
see it.
jumped on it. Yeah.
It's on my back. I can't see it.
That's awesome.
I have mine on as well.
Oh yeah, he has.
Oh, yeah, and Jim.
Special.
Jim's
one.
here too.
But he has a special one, so it's not as recognizable from the
I don't
front.
think you can see it.
Oh,
you're-
I
Backlit.
think the lighting's going to work for you, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dark.
You're
You're
just
dark.
gonna have to find them. You're just
I
gonna
bet it
have to
starts with
find
XX.
It does.
I'll have to look up the number.
them. Awesome. Thanks, Jim.
And he's gonna go look in the mirror, and then so whatever he tells you, you're gonna have to flip it around.
It's a geocaching puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. If you can figure it out, you can go log it.
That's right.
GSM Times 2 says the best way to get to Flagstaff is do the historic Route 66 Adventure Lab series from Chicago to Santa Monica.
He's shamelessly plugging the 66 Adventure Lab.
I don't know why
Not-
he would do
Good
that.
for him. He put a lot of work into that.
But less people think that it's actually like traffic wise the best way to go. Don't believe it.
Well, that was my thinking as you guys were talking. Is there an airport to the north of Flagstaff to come down on?
Not really.
No, and because to
No.
the north of Flagstaff is terrain that's impassable. It's mountains and it's
So-
It's like towards
You just-
Antelope Canyon and
Yeah, once you cross the border into Utah, you've got Arches National Monument. There are going to be some tiny strips out there, but
So we're going to need a
not really.
helicopter.
Yeah, I mean, you could fly
Yeah.
into St. George, but you'd have a heck of a long drive
Oh,
from there.
there we
Oh,
go.
there's
Or if you flew
Jim.
it.
For the Morvair.
XX74RV.
Oh,
Nice.
do you have a 74 RV, James?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Wouldn't that be ironic?
And
Brian
Josh-
Lang, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Josh is the king of doing those little plays with stuff. Did everybody notice what our GC code is for our event?
Yes.
GCA 66 with GW inside. So GCA 6 GW6.
Nice. Nicely played, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. Coincidence, or does he now own 850 GC codes?
Yes. Yes, I do.
It's one of those two things.
GSM times 2 said that somewhere, and I'm trying to find it, but I can't. I've
Oh,
lost
okay.
it in
Yeah.
the chat. It's to. Oh, by the way, your code is already activated.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad. I was going to look it up. Thank you for
It
doing
may
that.
or may not
Dan.
be by you now. We don't know.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so somebody got it.
Somebody did. It.
Activated.
Somebody took care of it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh dear.
I
And
must
there,
have reviewer connections.
there was one on the screen just a second ago, but now it's down from Brian Lang that says, yeah, that one.
Yeah. Love to get a registration package that includes a geocoin instead of a t-shirt or path tag. Is there any consideration of another option?
Josh?
Not really.
First of all, I say nope, too late.
Yeah.
But
Well,
That-
there are absolutely registration packages that include
That include
geocoins.
geocoins. Yeah.
They just also have t-shirts and pat tags. Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I know from experience it's tough, right? You've got to set some stuff. You can't please everybody, so you have to kind of set the stuff that's going to make the most sense
Yep.
for you as the organizers, and also based on previous GeoWoodstocks and what you learned from other events that you guys have run other mega events, and you just take all that experience, you build up the best you can, and it's kind of, it is what it is, folks.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And
Folks,
Josh, I do have a question though, Josh. Will we be, like we do at Spring Fling, will we be selling geocoin separately? You don't have to buy a package to get one.
We are hoping, once the market closes, once registration closes March 31st, we'll have an idea if there will be extra geocoins or not. If there are, we can sell them a la carte at the event, but not they won't be available prior to the event itself.
Okay.
And that purely dependent on
quantity and
so
registration.
there,
Right.
there may be a handful, there may be a bunch, there may be and it's
Two.
first come first serve once the day starts. So
Sure.
they'll probably, the handful will go quickly. But
Okay.
I do want to mention real quick, I'm sorry,
Please,
that
please.
someone in the comments said that GC code that Jim just shared does not work. And so I looked it up on the official list. And we have XX7R4V.
Oh, we had a little dyslexia.
So a little transpose.
It was the
transposition
mirror.
Yeah.
It was the mirror. That's
there.
right.
Told you. Yeah, so
It's not easy.
7R4V is
Awesome. Thanks.
There you go.
yeah.
So
Here
Jim
now.
does not have a 74 RV to answer.
No.
No.
your
Apparently not. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for
Chris.
taking your evening to be
Chris.
with us. Yeah,
I know you want to wrap it up because
I do. I've tried now a couple of times. So
No.
I'm going to give up. We're just
I'm
going to
not
keep
going to
going.
let you because there was one comment or one question from Scott, and he asked if, well, there was the mentioning the t-shirt quality.
Oh.
What I wanted to get to is he asked if I had any quick advice as a past organizer, and Sharon, you said something earlier a couple of times about looking forward to the 26th, and I yeah. But what I do want to share with you guys, and I know you've run megas before, and at the rate GeoWoodstock's growing, maybe you're not going to be running a mega. But the one thing I would say as advice is, like, as much as you can, carpe diem. Like, in the moment, everything is going to go by so
fast.
So just like take the moments when somebody comes up and thanks you. Take the moments when something weird or wonderful happens, and just live in the moment as much as you can. You're going to be busy. Everybody's going to be calling you for everything all the time. I know, but as much as you can, live in the moment, because when it's gone, it's gone. And you guys just have this amazing, unique experience ahead of you. So I just really encourage you to take it in. And you're going to have so much appreciation from everybody, which is awesome, and you deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Carpe diem until midnight madness, then it's carpe PM.
that actually may be what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah.
Not the 26th, but Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
Midnight Madness is going to be real fun.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
Sounds amazing.
It's not a dress up event, but I personally will be in my hippie 70 gear. So my tie-dye t-shirt.
Nice.
Love it.
Okay, Chris, you can end the show.
All right.
I'm going to try. I fully expect to be interrupted, but here we go. Folks.
Oh, wait.
Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
I'm stubborn and I don't want to admit defeat, but you may just get me tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate all the information you gave. We know it's late. We appreciate your staying up with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Really, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, folks, for listening. Now, get out there, go make your reservation and get your will attend in for GeoWoodstock, and then get out and get caching in the Northwest.